You know this thing about circumstances and conditions. We're all in different circumstances with different conditions, but we're all incarcerated, more or less, in our mental imprisonment. So that's the reason why one would want to become free. And many don't realize that. They think they are free as they are walking out on the streets. But you can have somebody who is locked up in jail at a correctional facility who's already corrected, who's already free, only serving a sentence that is a part of a logical and rational structure. To find peace, to experience freedom, is in the now. Because in the now, all is well. In the now, all is well, because there is no history and there is no future expectations of anything, be that positive or negative. So in the now, all is well. Circumstances doesn't matter. Despite who you are or where you are, you can find peace in the now. You can return to innocence. And the more you do that, to master the Zen or whatever, the more you will attract freedom outside as you become truly free inside. Nothing in the human experience, when it comes to realization or enlightenment or whatever you want to call it, is something to attain, to possess, like you've reached the point and you got it. If there's somebody who is in a constant state of Zen, they are not living their lives. They are not in relation to life. They are sitting under a tree in a remote area, listening to the wind, at peace, which is a waste of life. You are supposed to interact, you are supposed to build relationships, you are supposed to experience more and expand more as you enrich your soul, your being in this life experience. You can do whatever you want. I don't judge. But you're missing out on life. Life is not about you. Life is about everything. It's like humility and gratitude. You can't grab onto them. Yeah, I got to a state of humble now, so I'm humble. It doesn't work that way. It's like that with truth too. You can become true. You can convert all of the negative, destructive energies inside you and become true. And then you maintain that by returning to source, returning to soul, returning to innocence, returning to peace, and the state inside you where all is well, which is non-judgmental in relation to yourself, which is hard to do if you don't confess to yourself, because then you still carry a lot of condemnation and guilt, which incarcerates you and puts you in prison, even though you're walking the streets. And when you become true with all of your shit inside you, you can still commit a crime. You can still lie. You can still begin to stir in a pot of shit and create destruction. But that becomes a real effort when you have made the journey of becoming clear and transparent and free inside. That is just so weird. But you can still do it because you have not reached a plateau of supremacy in some way. If you think you have done that, I would suggest to make a really big mental note of think, because that's ego talk, and you want to have eagle talk. It's close, not ego, eagle. The eagle flies free. The mind of an eagle is free. It's soaring above everything, watching down, not participating in anything. It's like you being sky high in an air balloon. If you are a part of traffic, you smell the exhaust gases and you hear the horns honking and you feel the stress as the traffic is very stressful. But if you are in an air balloon way up high, you watch all that like ants in the woods without participation. And that is your emotional investment, which is your thoughts just accepting what is. I love that clip with Ram Dass and Swami Sachidananda at that, I think it was like a 70s talk show. His name was Bill, I think, the host. And his immediate question when talking to Ram Dass about peace was, how do you deal with traffic? Like you have this, you're booked at this event and you're running late and you're stuck in traffic. And Ram Dass replied that I see the humor in it. I see the predicament. I just go with it. What else are you gonna do? Start honking? What difference it's gonna make? And that honk is not something that is outside of you, that just happens. It's a emotional investment. It's aggravation. It's seeking control. It is dominating. It is not accepting. And aggravation and frustration, that's a bit lower in vibration than at peace. Quite a bit, actually. And then you have worry. To be in a constant state of that. Like you have a child walking on a piece of string above a pool with hungry sharks. But they're just walking like back and forth like this, never coming to any side ever. And the sharks are so close and they're so hungry and the child is so close to be eaten alive in excruciating pain and horror in front of your eyes that will create trauma that you will never recover from. That's worry. That's worry is poison. It's poison. It's destroying you. And you can't be accepting and at peace and stating to yourself that all is well and be worried. And one of the biggest tips on feeling yourself completely when closing your eyes and breathing and saying all is well. There is a big difference between letting your mouth just be and bringing you up to a slight smile. Just like this. All is well. It doesn't have to be that way. That is kind of demanding to walk around like this. My life is so fantastic. It is. My life is fantastic. Everything that comes into my experience is love. If I walk out, I'm gonna head downtown today and have a walk in the park, at the museum. Maybe I'll go in there and rob those guys. But I'm gonna go to the library and upload this and other stuff. And maybe a guy walks up to me and punches me in the face. Who knows? What can I make of that? Why did that happen? There must have been a reason. For sure. Everything happens, for a reason. Everything. It's trying to tell you something. It's trying to give you an indication of what you need to understand to move forward. And that can be, you should create this, or you should understand more about this to be able to let it go. So that's history, and that's future. And then you have the all is well, which is the present. It's the gift, the present, the gift of life. To be aware of what's happening now. Your life is now. The time is now. You live now. Not yesterday and not tomorrow. Tomorrow can be 10 seconds from now. Yesterday can be 5 minutes ago. It's all a matter of perspective. So you just try to return. And to let go of history is one thing, but to live going forward makes it a lot easier if you're living with great expectations. And when I say that everything that comes into my experience is a good thing, because it helps me to understand myself better in order to create and to let go. So then I have great expectations. I expect good things. It's like you're looking at the horizon and you see good things. You expect good things. If you're out at sea in a boat and you see in the distance a mountain, a rock, a piece of land, you can see that as an obstacle for you going forward, or maybe it's your destination. It all depends on how open you are to receive something good, to see the positive in things. That's a choice. It might seem completely like the opposite. That guy who's gonna punch me in the face today seems like the opposite. But what did it have to to tell me what was the message. Where did things go wrong in my experience? What did I not understand along the way that made that happen for me? And you might say, well, maybe you mistreated him in the past, and he came back for revenge. Yeah, that's an explanation. But the energy you hold, the state that you sustain in your heart and mind, in general, in your energy system, is what attracts. And that guy who punched me in the face is somebody I don't know. I've never met him. We have no connection at all. His frustration over his situation in life just smacked me right in the face. An innocent guy who's gonna upload this to YouTube today and maybe have an ice cream and take a walk in the sun. It doesn't seem right now, does it? So why did I get punched in the face? Why? Why? Well, because I carry a lot of fear. Can you see that? That's not my fault, but it is attraction. It is attraction. Because I carry so much fear that I don't take responsibility to convert into love inside myself, in my energy and my vibration and my frequency, with my thoughts and my emotions. That I need to learn this way, the hard way, in order to transform, let that go, and change for the better. So you might think that I'm innocent in all of this, for getting punched in the face without knowing the guy, and I haven't done anything. But I wanted to return to innocence, but I didn't. I carried fear, which is a part of judgment and conviction in a negative nature inside myself. So I got punished by myself. Doesn't seem right? Punished? Did I get punished? I didn't get punished. I didn't get sentenced and punished to be punched in the face by some random guy. God punished me. The universe punished me. I don't know. That's just irresponsible thinking. You need to take a step back and look at, what am I producing, entertaining, sustaining inside myself? And that is something you get out of being objective. Here you are, here are your circumstances. If you own those, I am my circumstances, you are being subjective. And then it's really hard to see what's actually going on because you're not creating any distance. Being subjective to your circumstances is a lie. That's not who you are. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. And to become objective, you need to take a break. And you need to find peace where all is well. And that can be for as little as a minute. People make everything into a performance. Yeah, I meditated like 5 hours yesterday. You can meditate for 5 hours and get shit out of that. Legs that fall asleep and a neck that's stiff. Or you can lay down in the couch. You can sit like this if you want. And you just zone out from everything. Just be. Just you and your breath for a little while. And you will maybe sit there or lay down for 5 minutes. And out of those 5 minutes, you might experience freedom for 10 seconds. And in those 10 seconds, you call bullshit. And when you do that, you have created a distance between you and any kind of circumstance. And then you are able to change, to act upon that realization. So that's a realization and an enlightenment in that moment. I have been in complete peace without any connection to any judgment inside myself, in complete freedom for approximately 4 hours once. And that is it is pure ecstasy in a state of being, but it is shit when you return, because then you have created such a big distance and zoomed out in such a grand perspective that you have gotten all of the universe and all of the circumstances objective in a bigger understanding, which in a world full of people acting on impulse and frustration in destruction gives you a lot of pain. People seek this. They seek that kind of experience. I don't recommend that. It has taken me 5-6 years to understand in relation to myself, because I'm just a human being that's going through the motions, just like you. That has to, like this morning, when I woke up and I had the sun in my face coming in from the window. and I had to do breath work, and I had to find a state of all is well, because I was so tensed. And that's doubt creeping up again, creeping on a come up. And I can't grab my 9mm, and I can't stab it, I can't punch it in the face, but I need to kill that fast. I need to be a killer, a doubt killer. And how you do that? How do you do that? How do you do that? You ignore, and state the opposite. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, for helping me realize. Thank you, God, for helping me see. Thank you, God, for giving me the strength to do what's right, to do what's positive. Thank you, God, for giving me signs, guidance, and just helping me to become more of who I am, truthfully, all in love, all in peace, all in service to the world, to myself, to everybody. And that's you for each one of those claims in a positive direction. That's you turning the dim switch, bringing up the positive energy in the light of love. So you see, the darkness was all over. I could have put bullets, I could have kicked and screamed at it. But all I had to do was to raise that light, increase the watt in the positive, and the darkness just didn't have a chance. It died naturally. And that's how you do it. And then I'm at peace, having a cup of coffee before I head out. That is probably pretty cold now. Yes, it was. It's been standing there for 33 minutes now. So I'm adding some other coffee. Coffee burp. Well, I'm gonna upload this along with another video I did last night. That includes a poem. All right. Take care now. Bye bye then.